Who that nation? How you doing? Come on in. Take a seat. Sit back. Relax. Put your feet up. Grab a drink. And let's talk Saints football. Y'all know what time it is. Time to keep it real. Let's go. Family, family, family. The doors are now open. So come on in. Hope everyone's having a great Friday, man. Listen, family. Last night, baby, the Saints take another offensive lineman. Many in Who That Nation were just heartbroken. You were sad. You were down in the dumps. You were saying Tyler Warren was on the board. Jalen Walker was on the board. We could have went many ways, and we pick another offensive lineman. But I'm here to tell you, I like this selection. It wasn't the sexy pick last night. It wasn't the pick that many wanted. It wasn't a Shedeur Sanders. It wasn't a Tech McMillan. But who was it that the Saints selected last night? You saw in the opening, it was Kelvin Banks Jr. Kelvin Banks Jr. from the University of Texas, a 3-year starter at the University of Texas. That's right, not 1 year, not 2 years, but 3 years. Ever since this young man has walked on campus, he has been a starter at the University of Texas. Kelvin Banks Jr. was named a second-team All-Big 12 as a freshman, as well as a freshman All-American. That's right, he was a freshman All-American, and he was second-team All-American in 2023. So what about this past season? Well, all the young man did, family, was go out there and be named first-team All-American, Lombardi Award winner, Outland Trophy, first-team All-SC, first-team All-SEC, and Jacobs Blocking Trophy winner. This is not Trevor Penning coming from Northern Iowa. High competition, SEC, Big 12. He was blocking guys that he would see on Sundays. That's right. Kelvin Banks Jr. is the newest member of the New Orleans Saints. And when we come back, we'll take a look at some footage of the Saints' newest left tackle, right tackle, or left guard. We'll be right back. All right, family, we're back. And let's take a look at the newest member of the New Orleans Saints here in action. Here you see him against Oklahoma. Great drive block here. I like his extension there. Here he gets out in space. Down blocking here. Now, what I noticed there, sometimes when in run blocking, he overextends. A lot of times he ends up on the ground. That's something the coach is going to have to work with him. But when it comes to pass blocking, look how he just stonewalled the Georgia defender there. And that's is one rep against Mekhi Williams. I believe this is him and Mekhi Williams right here. Look at that. Great rep by Kelvin Banks Jr. Good feet. Look, now look at that. Look at that. Look at that anchor. When I say anchor, that butt, he drops. Watch here against the Florida defender. Just lets him run himself clean out the plate. Here he gets out in space again, leading the way on the screen. Look how he climbed to the second level there to take out the defender. Once again on the goal line. Good base. I like the selection. Again, family, it's just day one of the draft, but let's remember. Let's remember, family, that the draft, family, is not a one-day ordeal. It's multiple. Was offensive line a need for the New Orleans Saints? You bet your ass it was. For everybody out there crying, you bet your ass. You know good and well that we needed help on the offensive line. We went after Talisi Fuaga last year. That's going to be a good selection. Trevor Penning, he got better last year, but they didn't pick up his 5th-year option. That's on the previous coaching staff, and that's on him. Now, this is a make it or break year for Trevor Penning. Now, with Banks coming in, does he slide in as your left guard or right tackle? Do you move Penning? I don't think they're going to move Penning again. I think they're going to take Banks and they're going to slide him inside. That's me personally. I could be wrong. But we definitely needed help on the offensive line. There's no doubt about it. The Saints needed help on the offensive line in a major way. Listen, were you not tired of the Saints going out and scouring the waiver wire, trying to pick up guys who are way past their prime, guys who have been working at Home Depot to come in and get them some snaps? Listen, you get a young, very good offensive lineman that I think could be a day one starter, either at right tackle or left guard, wherever it plays out. Because listen, it has to play out in training camp. He comes in, he beats out Penning, Penning becomes your backup. Or maybe he let Penning walk. But to me, you can't let Penning walk because he is one of your 6 best linemen. Some of you will say, well, Dolph, that's not saying a lot. Listen, like it or not, Trevor Penning improved last year because he played. Now, was it stellar? Make us stand up and say, no, it wasn't stellar. Why? Why wasn't it stellar? Because the Saints refused to pick up a 5th-year option. And because with the 9th pick of the NFL draft last night, they went and got this young man, Kelvin Banks Jr., to help solidify that offensive line. I'm not mad at it at all. Many were hoping for a quarterback at this stage last night. Many hopes were up. Many of you were like, man, Shadu is there. Shadu is there. Shadu is there. But guess what? Shadu is still there. Shadu is still there. Think of it what you make. Some people are ecstatic. Some people are just going out of their mind with excitement because that young man fell out of the first round. And then there are others who are saying what happened to that young man, it's a shame. Now, if it was evaluation on the evaluation front, which I think most of it was, but you're not going to sit here and tell me all those negative comments, all the negativity that was said about this kid did not increase, did not lead to his drop in the draft. Say what you want. I know who was the second quarterback pick. But man, come on. But anyway, tonight might be the night Shadil Sanders comes off the board. This might be the night he becomes a New Orleans Saints. Or it could be this young man right here from the University of Louisville, Tyler Shough. Hey, it's been reported the Saints really like Tyler Shough. There are those who evaluate talent that believe Tyler Shough was the best quarterback in this draft. He's still there. You have Oregon quarterback Dylan Gabriel, Texas quarterback Quinn Ewers. He's still on the board. So if the Saints are going to get a quarterback in day 2, they're there. There's a shelf full of quarterbacks in day 2. But besides quarterback, where can the New Orleans Saints go here in day 2? Well, for one, family, I would like to see, I think you got to go defensive side of the ball. We got to get a difference maker. We got to get somebody on that defensive line. We got to get after the quarterback. We just have to. And right now, still on the board for day 2 of the NFL draft, you got Mike Green is still on the board, the fine pass rusher from Marshall. Would you be upset if Mike Green was a second-round selection? I don't want to hear Marshall. The kid can play. He's a twitchy athlete with a burst, and he wins his one-on-ones, and he sets a violent edge. Also, still on the clock. James Pierce, the coach, man. Look, like it or not, the Falcons had a hell of a draft last night. Landon Jackson from Arkansas is still on the board. Jordan Birch from Oregon. He has a high floor. He as an edge rusher, and he's kind of like he's 6'4", 279 pounds. So he's kind of in that area that the Saints, like under the previous regime. But we will see if that's where the Saints go. So those are some of your edge rushers still on the board. Now, Saints still can go offensive line in this draft. I know they already got Donovan Banks, but again, the Saints still can go offensive. I'm not sold. You need as much help up front as you can get. Now, maybe in the third round or maybe tomorrow, there's a kid named Jackson Slater from Sacramento State that I like. 6'3", 311 pounds. He's ranked just outside of the top 100. Raw in his technique, but he projects as a guard or backup center. We need quality backup help in New Orleans. Now, let's go to the sexy pick. This is what y'all want. Y'all want the sexy pick. There's a tight end still on the board. There's a tight end still on the board who played up the road, up I-10, baby. Mason Taylor is still on the board. Could Mason Taylor's name be called tonight as the newest New Orleans Saints? That, to me, would be a wise decision by the Saints. You pair Mason Taylor up with Jawan Johnson. Listen, we don't know when Taysom Hill's coming back. Foster Moreau, he's also recovering from an injury. So Mason Taylor or Miami's Elijah Aurora, he will also be a good selection. Then there's Terrence Ferguson, Harold Fanning Jr. for Bowling Green, and Gunnar Ham from Texas. I mean, the tight end class is really deep at tight end family. Now, wide receiver. Dolph, we need that big body wide receiver. The kid from Iowa State, Jaden Higgins family. 6'4", 214 pounds. Height, weight, speed. Physical. He brings physicality to the receiver position. 6'4", 214 pounds. This would be an excellent day 2 selection. If Jaden Higgins is the selection at number 40, I'm ecstatic. Then there's Jalen Noel, the young man, another wide receiver from Iowa State. He's 5'10", 194. To me, you already have receivers in that mold with Olave, Brandon Cooks. Give me Jaden Higgins, the big body, physical receiver with speed. I was about to say elite speed, but his speed, he has speed. He can get past DBs. I would love to get Jaden Higgins. Then you got Jalen Rawls from Utah State. He's still on the board. Trey Harris, wide receiver from Ole Miss. We've all seen him, 6'2", 205 pounds. Senior Bowl MVP Jack Betch is still on the board. Isaiah Bond from Texas is still on the board. But again, Isaiah Bond, 5'11", 185. We already have that kind of receiver. I would like to see him go get a big body receiver. Now, running back room. You got to touch the running back room. You have both the Ohio State running backs still on the board. Trayvon Henderson and Quinshawn Junkins both are on the board. Also, Dylan Sampson from Tennessee, he is on the board. R.J. Harvey from Central Florida is on the board. Trevor Etienne, the brother of Etienne, the running back for the Jaguars. And listen, shout out to Carlos. You know this is one of Carlos' favorite players. And if you watch the interview, not only does Carlos and myself like him, but Mr. Charles Davis and many people like this young man here that I'm about to put up on the screen. Listen, all I know is he can fly, baby. He can fly, and there he is right there. Let me get him up on it. That's the young man I'm talking about right there, baby. Brashul Tootin. Tootin can straight up go, baby. Tootin can straight up go. Watch him go here. This is what I'm talking about. What round 3, third round pick today for Tootin. We need running back help. Again, Kendre Miller, talent, undeniable, but he cannot stay healthy. Brayshaw Tootin today will be an excellent addition to the Saints. And look at that 40 time. 4-3-2, baby. 4-3-2. I say bring it. I say bring it to Who Dat Nation. All right. So listen, family. Basically, I came on here to tell you this, family. Don't get upset, baby. It's going to be all right, Who Dat Nation. It's going to be all right. It's just day one. I know you're sick and tired of having the Saints address the offense and defensive line, but when you don't have it, when you don't have that big defensive tackle to stop the run, when you don't have those 2 bookend tackles that can withstand the pass rush from the fast, aggressive, technically sound defensive ends in the National Football League, and your quarterback's constantly running for his life or on his back, or he gets knocked out of the game, then you want to cry about we need offensive line help. Well, today is the day. Yesterday was the day the Saints addressed the offensive line need. Now, I was hoping that the Saints would possibly trade back up in the draft in the first round, not for a quarterback, but for the last pick of the first round, Jahad Campbell. He went to the Eagles. I'm really high on that kid. I think that kid's gonna have a stellar career. So listen, family. Again, like I said, not gonna keep you long. Want to remind you that tonight we will be live with round 2. Zach and Lawrence, I believe, Cowboy, they will be live tonight with round 2 and 3 of the NFL draft. So join them tonight at 6:30. I believe it's going to be 6:30. Keep your notification bells on because I think the second round starts a little earlier than the first round tonight. But look, the second and third round now is just it's not as big, but it's not as overlooked as it was in years past. You still got Jalen Milroe in the room. Could Jalen Milroe be a New Orleans Saints? Could it be Shador? Could it be Tyler Shook? Could it be Quinn Ewers? Could it be Dylan Gabriel? I'm just throwing names out there at you, family. I don't know, but you got to tune in tonight. Tune in. Turn down the sound on your TV. Come on into the Come On In Sports Network and follow Zach, Lawrence, Jeremy, Cowboy as they get you ready and get you through each and every single pick of rounds 2 and 3 tonight in the NFL draft. And the Saints currently, barring any trades, will have 3 selections tonight. Well, family, look, I want y'all to take care. Have a great Friday. See you all tonight, baby, for round 2 and 3 of the NFL draft. And family, like always, before we get out of here, you know what it is. Love and Who Dat, baby.